G'day, race fans, and welcome to another episode of the Dodge City Hot Wheels Smackdown, brought to you by the Cumberland Culture and Arts Society and Hills Diecast Racing. 32 competitors are here to face off to win the illustrious, newly named as of this moment, the Coal Cup. A shout out to these fine businesses for providing prizes. Now let's meet our Group 5 drivers, starting with Jor driving Polly, a fine-looking Chrysler. Next up, Troy for I Race to My Pants team. I looked this up. I'm sure it's dirty, but I can't quite figure out what it is. Next, the PC working for Team Postal. Yeah, that's the postal carrier. And finally, we have Gavin driving Benzie, a modified heavyweight for Team Cannonball. All right, and there were some questions about the security of our staff in the last couple of episodes. We can assure you we've moved the workers out of the way. All right, we are up to the top of the starting gate, where Group 5 is about to begin the first lap, and they're off. Team I Race to My Pants takes an early lead. I'm gonna stop calling him that. Troy takes a lead, and he's doing quite well. That Viper is just screaming ahead. I don't know where the competition is. Oh, there's Team Cannonball bringing up the rear. Oh, and there's Polly and the postal carrier. Wait, did our camera get hit by a car? We'll get back to that. So we see Gavin's silver Mercedes right on Troy's yellow Viper's tail, and then suddenly he's gone. What happened? Let's just take a look here. What happened was his tail got heavy, he got sideways, he lost speed, and suddenly we have a lesson in balance. Yeah, if your car's not balanced going around the corners, you're gonna lose speed. To this guy, Troy, with the silly team name. All right, I see we lost a barrel there, and this camera guy suddenly drops. Wait a minute, that's Carl, the camera guy, who asked to be repositioned next to the track. Oh, give me a break. Carl, you push that over. A car did not hit you. You are not getting a new camera. Anyways, Troy leads with 5, Gavin with 3, Jor with 2, and the PC with 1. Come on, postal carrier. We know you're slow, but you can do it. Here's lap 2. And they are off. Polly is racing ahead this time. Look at that fine sliding action on the roof. So smooth, so elegant, so upside down. And there's Benzie, driven by Gavin, taking the victory, looking rather smug. And Polly, upside down. Jor, not so smug. The postal carrier, it means well. And what happened to you, Troy? Man, you're like a rocket and suddenly you're sideways. There is some fine action by Polly. Jor hits the wall and suddenly is on the roof. Gavin, however, does not care. Push, push, push. And finally goes around the wreck, while the PC car just sort of dies. Well done, Gavin. And these guys are celebrating a little early. Don't you think it's a little early to be drinking? And there's Troy. Right, you got a little sideways. These things happen. Life gets you sideways, you move on. Okay, so Gavin leads with 8, Troy has 5, Jor's got 2, and the PC has 1. Come on, postal carrier. Rum, rum. All right, we're back at the starting gate, in front of the Waverley Hotel, and they're off. Gavin with the Mercedes off to a sizable lead, with Jor, the black Chrysler, bringing up behind, and the other two, who knows where they are. And there is Gavin with an easy win, with Jor and Troy taking 2nd and 3rd, and PC bringing in 4th place. All right, here we go. Replay. Lots of bumping and grinding action. Pinball, left, right, center. It's just a lot of this and that. Gavin and the Benz just flying, and Jor, Troy, PC rolling in behind in the dust of Gavin's Benzie, the Mercedes, just screaming down the track. And yeah, look at these folks. Who wouldn't be celebrating? We're watching racing. So after lap 3, we got Gavin ahead with 13. Troy's got 7. Jor at 5. And the PC's got 2. Hey, got another point. Right on. All right. Lap 4. Troy and Gavin up front, with Jor and PC in the back. And they're off. That Benz once again ripping up the track. with Jor way behind, and who knows where the rest are. An easy victory. This is why we have two classes, so... Oh, Jor and Troy come to a halt just short of the finish line. Oh no, they've been rammed by the PC, sending Jor just over the finish line to grab second place. What a tremendous bit of luck for Jor there, and big thanks, I guess, to the postal carrier for helping him gain more points. Here's what happened. Well, there really wasn't much that happened on the track other than way in the back, the postal carrier plots her revenge. Wow, that was dark. All right, after 4 laps, we have Gavin ahead with 18 points, Jor with 8, Troy with 7, the postal carrier with 2. And that means Gavin and Jor will move on to round 2. We'd like to thank Team Postal and Team I Raced in My Pants, Troy. We'd like to thank Troy for participating. Have fun with your silly names. Moving on to our Team 6 drivers, we have Sven and Chris driving the Captain, a Datsun 240Z. Then the Viper driving the Bone Shaker, good looking car there. And Nora from Legendary Wary Team is driving a fine Ford GT. And finally, a ridiculous, where do I start? The Starship Pooper, an e-racer driven by Sparky Winding. Sparky, that's not... It's huge. Look at the size of that thing, and it's electric. Please, give me a break. All right, here we go. Starship Pooper, not in a pole, just looking big and cumbersome. All right, out front we have Viper with the 240Z driven by Sven and Chris right behind. And the other two are bringing up the rear. Smash, bang, crash. What happened to you, Starship Pooper? Run out of power? Anyways, let's not dump on these e-cars. Yeah, they're efficient, but do they make... Apparently they're just as dangerous as gas cars. Oh, no, that's not an accident. No, we'll come back to that. Here we go. Some replays. While Viper's way up ahead, while the 240 does a 180 spin. That's a lot of numbers. And yeah, Viper is able to stay ahead of the backwards 240, while the electric Zoomobile and the GT bring up the rear. And it turns out the Tesla truck just needed some repairs. That's a technician underneath there. Sure. All right, up front we have the Viper with 5, Sven and Chris got 3, Sparky's got 2, and Nora's got 1. We're back at the starting gate for lap 2 with the e-racer in the pole position, GT in the left. And they're off! Oh, calamity, what happened? Nora is upside down, and oh my gosh, the electric car is out front, sideways, upside down. Oh, and there goes Sven and Chris pushing through the wreckage, claiming a victory, and everybody's standing up. We have a couple of guys celebrating again. Look at the bottom of that e-racer, just full of holes. And there is the Viper stuck behind Nora's GT. The GT all got off the track there and hit, look at that, just went sideways, upside down. Fliggin' heck, that is a beautiful piece of work. Sorry, Nora, I know your GT suffered, but boy was that entertaining. I hope you're okay. And here comes the e-racer sliding on its roof. The Datsun swirls around it and takes an easy victory. Well done, Sven and Chris. Looking at our scoreboard, we see Sven and Chris are now leading with 8. Viper's got 5, Sparky's got 2, and Nora and the Viper, in the GT rather, is down to 1. All right, lap 3, here we go. The 240 up front with Nora next to them in the pole position. The 240, now the 240 is a heavyweight modified, so you'll see the weight difference, but you can see that Bone Shaker, driven by Viper, is right behind the 240, so weight isn't the only consideration, although maybe in this case it was. What happened here? Carnage, destruction. You know, we guaranteed carnage, and here you go, it's everywhere. And nothing happened to this car, it just died. We'll call IT, I'm sure it's fixable. So let's take a look here. Everybody's all close together behind the 240, and then it's weird. The 240 is suddenly all by itself. Like, what happened? And then you take a look. That bone crusher and Nora, the GT behind, they're both riding the rail, but unfortunately Viper takes the rail right to the end and I guess gets dumped. I don't know. We don't have a camera in there. We don't really know what's happening there. But I guess the long and short of it is we don't know what happened. Folks get tired of racing. They pull over, they have a snack, and the Datsun 240Z, Norfin Racing takes the win. Leading with 13 points. The Viper's bringing up the rear at 5. Sparky's got 2. Nora's got 1. This is the final lap. It is essentially a race for second. Who is going to join Sven and Chris in their move to round 2? And they're off. Let's find out. Sven and Chris to a predictable good start with Viper right on the heavyweight's tail. What happened? There was a swap there. And Nora in the GT ends up taking second. Nicely done. And there is our service personnel waiting for the E-Racer, the Tesla Special, to arrive. Unfortunately, it ran out of power and then ran into Viper. What happened here? Yeah, Viper got kind of sideways there. It didn't go off the track. It seemed to be okay. Everyone's going in the tunnel fine. Who knows? Maybe we need a camera in the tunnel, but something happened there that slowed everybody down, and that was kind of the end of that. These things happen. It's racing. Things go fast, things go slow, things go crash, things go oh no. And there is our winner. Sven and Chris with 18 and Viper with 5. They're moving on. Nora and the Starship Pooper is going to go home, unfortunately. And here are our winners, Sven and Chris and the Viper. Well done. And that's it for tonight's show. We'd like to thank the Waverley Hotel, the Little Village Store, Cumberland Brewing Company, Ryder's Pizza, and BiblioTaco for supplying prizes for our winners. And we'd like to thank our 32 competitors for contributing food donations to our local food bank. Always appreciated during these tough economic times. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in, subscribing, saying yay, commenting, and watching this guy be really weird.
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again?